Hi, this is Donna Harcourt, and I am going to show you a little bit about my project called Sunny Dreams today. I think you all know how to paint, so I'm going to show you how to use distressed inks if some of you have never used that before. This is just a piece of watercolor paper, and these are some distressed inks. I have peeled paint, faded jeans, barn door, and vintage photo. Then you also have this little applicator. The distressed inks and applicators are made by Tim Holtz, and this is easily changed by just peeling this off and then pushing it back on. Distressed inks are water-based, and so they work really well with water. I'm going to start out with the distressed inks, peeled paint, and you just dab them on like this. And the best thing is to start off is to have a piece of scrap paper under it. Move this out so you can see. I'm going to start out here on the paper. I can't see that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start out here on the paper, and I'm going to work my way in. And I'll just go around a quarter of it. You can see the ink goes a long way. I'm not going to do all of it all the way around the edges. I just want you to be able to see. So I'm going about a quarter of the way in. And then I know that my verse is going to go in this area somewhere. So I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to use my blue. And you just dab it pretty easy like that. Okay, again, I'm going to start out here. I'm going to just put a little bit here so we get off the big base. Then I'm just going to start out here in the green, and I'm going to work my way in around kind of like that, because I know that's where my verse is going. I went over the edge and just blend those colors together well. Okay, so now I've got the blue in. Going to come back with some red. I always like a little bit of red. It puts a little sunshine in your project. So again, start out here and take a little bit of that off. I'm going to come up here from the corner, and I'm going to work my way in. And I'm going to put a little bit of red over here to this edge. So I just fill that part in. Maybe come around the edge, work my way around into the blue a little bit, and that'll give a little bit of purple. Okay? And it's a little harsh right there, so I'm just lighten up on it. Pull that in right there. Okay, then finally the last step of this was to put some of this vintage photo around the edge to give it that additional look of worn. So I'm going to use some vintage photo, and I'm going to start off here at the edge, and I'm going to work my way in, but I'm just going to stay right here on the edge, and it just gives it that finishing touch. Pick up more. And I would do this all the way around. And I'm just doing one end of this project so you can see what we do. And if any place is a little bit bright, I don't want the white right there, so I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of the vintage photo. Okay, now we'll say this is all done. Then the next step you're going to do is take a little spray bottle and just lightly mist it. And you can see, and I'll try to get that in so you can see it better. See how it leaves these little spots? Well, when this dries, it gives it a really unique appearance. And no two are ever alike. Okay? So once this gets done and it's all dry, yes, you can dry it with a hairdryer if you wish to do so. Then we will come back in, and I just picked up this little stamp at Hobby Lobby. It wasn't very much. I'm going to take the peeled paint, and I'm going to stamp it. And I'm not using the whole thing, I'm just stamping part of it. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp this onto there. And you can see it, if I hold this up, maybe you can see it does that. It's still a little bit wet because I had just used it. And then I'm going to go back in and just stamp some more. So you don't want to use a whole stamp, you just want to use bits and pieces of it. So there's a little bit more. So you get kind of a watercolor effect with it. Then the last thing you're going to do is take your vintage photo ink and ink up any of your stamps or your choice of verse. And you'll just stamp that right into there. There we go. And again, it's wet, so it doesn't look as good or as sharp as it should. But then you will just take, and once you've done the whole piece, do your design of the sunflower over here and paint it in as you need it. frame it, and you've got a beautiful little project. I hope this helps, and thank you for allowing me to show you this today. Thank you.